What do you worry? It gives me. You always make me feel guilty. Yeah, intelligence dirty, and nature makes me cry inside.
Right, tonight I have Philip Quinn and the Residents.
Oh.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Resident.
Right, okay, so we're fierce tribesmen in Manchester, so first question is, where are you from?
Oh, I'm from Hampshire. That's probably
Hampshire?
yeah, Hampshire. That's kind of frowned upon, isn't it? Just isn't cool.
Not really.
Let's say Salford.
Where is it?
Hampshire, it's arse end of nowhere. It's down south coast.
Down south?
Down south.
Right, so one from down south.
Yeah.
I'm only from down the road, Sorgall, which is like North Wales, but I've moved to Manchester about 20 years ago now, so I'm a monk now.
So
I've
you're
been
honorary monk.
I've got the stamp.
Yeah,
stamp.
Yeah,
Like
and the scratches on your back and everything, yeah. Oh,
no, it's all my adult life I've lived in Manchester, so I always say Manchester.
Right, so it's Manchester, right, we've got that settled.
Yeah.
So how did the music come together then? Obviously there's been a few different developments and chapters in the story.
Well, I finished with my band, Little Volcanoes, and I wanted to sort of meet people who were just as mad as me. Who wanted to, like, you know, kind of treat life like you know, like art, like it's your own, you know, like it should be, and not sort of having to deal with sort of 9-to-5 matrix people. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So I sort of begged a lot of people to say, I sort of drew a picture of a boy in, you know, like this like bass player person. It's like, right, has anyone seen anyone like this? And
there it is.
I drew the pictures, made them. Yeah. You had to be really kind of, you know.
So really, you're on to new influences, new input, input.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone's very, you know, very important to our music. You know.
So how long have you both been doing music now? Have you been at it a long time, since Hampshire days?
Yeah, like 15 years, maybe more. Yeah, I do. I've done like wedding bands, and I was touring for about 7 or 8 years in an indie band. And
what were
didn't you nearly join Busted or something?
McFly, and I turned down an audition for McFly.
For a choir?
So I was supposed to be McFly. I was supposed to be the bassist, but then
he's shit anyway. So
exactly. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. No, I was touring in a band called And What Would Be Left of Them for a while, and then the Time Machine with a H, like
with a H. Herb Machine.
The Time Machine. And then I just sort of ended up with Phil.
Right.
Yes, happy.
Ended up. That's usually the best way.
This will finish me off.
Story of my life. So, who's your major influences then?
Well,
who's number one?
Who's number one in it? Well, look, it goes through the ages, because I loved Simon and Garfunkel when I was like, you know, like kind of 8. And then obviously folk music doesn't do it for you when you're a teenager, and I started getting into like bands. A Manchester band that really got me into guitar music, you might have heard of Molly Halfhead. Do you remember them? They had this like clear through vinyl, Tota Sand I think it was, a song, and I was like, these people are proper weirdos.
They were proper weirdos.
And I loved, and then I got into loads and loads of music from that. But that's when it went from sort of kind of like folk music to noisy stuff. And you know, you go and watch everyone, don't you? Manic Street Preachers in the early mid 90s, and I like the sort of the outsider Britpop bands like Marion, Manchester band. I always loved them. I thought they were brilliant. Long Pigs.
Love the Long Pigs.
Yeah, Long Pigs. They were cracking bands, and I think they all suffered because Britpop exploded, didn't it? And then it died.
The Long Pigs.
The Long Pigs. Check them out. Brilliant.
Oh, I'll tell you what. Who you know the guy? What's his name? The singer, the folk singer now. Who's not folk singer, but he's like a '50s guy. What's his name? It's going to bug me now. But anyway, one of them's quite famous. On the road sort of chap, but yeah, anyway, loads of people discovered the Sex Pistols along the way, and loads of punk.
So who's the biggest one in your mind? Who's the biggest one? If you had to go on the old...
Tom Waits.
Tom Waits, yes.
Tom Waits, hands down, is my guy. Yeah.
Richard Hawley.
Richard Hawley.
That was it. That was it. That I just could just come now. Richard Hawley. He was a guitarist in Long Pigs. Very good.
Right, I know. Yeah.
Sorry,
I
just gave it to
a legend. Well, dead silence all right.
I've slept that.
All right, let's bring it up in there. What best gig, and why?
Best gig.
And don't say the wedding gig with a good buffet.
No. I played someone with lobster thermidor and it was
I went to this wedding reception once in Ashton, right? Ashton-under-Lyne, and it was in some scout hut. We went in. We were just invaders, and we walked in this place, and you've got the bride's family all on that side of the room, and the groom's family all on that side of the wall, and the bar in the middle, and they all just absolutely caned it. And there's this massive fight at the end, and then there's an even more bigger fight outside because the best man was caught shagging the fucking woman out round the back. Anyway, all right. So
best gig.
No buffets.
I played a festival a few years ago with some of my favourite bands in the world. So I got to play with Art Brute, Misty's Big Adventure, and The Rocks, and they're all bands that I love and really respect and stuff. So yeah, maybe that I was really. It was like.
So you was feeling it, yeah?
Royalty.
You was feeling it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Best gig. No tits.
No tits. But when we I think Little Volcanoes played in the place in Fallowfield, that's called Bar XS, back in the day, and it was packed. Like everyone was jumping up and down, and I am not. What's his name? Jack Black.
Yeah.
I'm not a Jack Black kind of a guy. Do you know what I mean? But I decided to do a little bit of a jump in, and there was this full audience. They were all, no one moved. They caught me. I bounced around, and then they put me back on stage and then cracked my head open. Nothing. That was brilliant. That was the only. I'm not very, I'm more Brian Ferry, if I've got to be honest. I'm not a suave than rock and roll pig. But that was my rock and roll pig moment, and it was good. I liked it. I'm not going to try it again though.
No.
Once is enough.
Once is enough. Right. So your favourite song of all time? Still, again, no buffets.
It's called "You Need to Fall in Love" by Little Jimmy Ray. It's an old Northern Soul track. That's
Jimmy Ray.
Little Jimmy Ray. It's like a really obscure. Yeah. It's like an obscure Northern Soul B-side, but I love it. It just hits me. It's beautiful. Yeah, that hands down.
Little Jimmy Ray, there you go.
Little Jimmy Ray.
Not to say your own, are you? You need another one.
No, not really. It's a bit
Cock of you.
My favourite song is no. I'm gonna contradict myself and go right back to like Simon and Garfunkel and say "Homeward Bound" was the first one that made me.
Do you know where he wrote that? Do you know where he wrote it?
Hang on, I think I do. Was it Widnes or Warrington?
Wigan.
Was
Wigan train station. Brilliant. Listen, stuck in Wigan train station at R12.
But it makes people. But it makes people. What I think what it does is it makes you. Music's just more about the music, lyrical imagery, and being able to put images in other people's heads of what you want it to be is an incredible thing. So I think Homeward Bound by Simon Garfunkel.
Well, that's Philip Quinn and the Residents without a buffet.